Interviewing Matthew Mercer from Resident Evil 6. Kill me.
What's up, Smoshers and gamers alike? This is I Have a Raging bonus video, and today we have an interview with Matthew Mercer. Now, Matt Mercer, why are you so amazing?
Genetics.
Genetics, definitely a big part of it.
Engineer.
I believe you might also be in a new video game that came out.
Yes, actually, I'm the voice of Leon Kennedy in the newly released Resident Evil 6 and Resident Evil Damnation.
First of all, since you are Leon Kennedy, like this is a fan favorite character in a franchise that everybody loves. Like, what was that like jumping into that kind of role, that kind of responsibility?
Well, it was really, I also played every Resident Evil since the first one, and he was definitely my favorite character of the entire franchise. So it was really exciting for me, and also very intimidating, because he's such a beloved character.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the guy that ruins the character that everyone loves. So it was a bit of tension at the beginning, trying to make sure I got everything right and really making sure I understood the character. But overall, it was a blast.
What makes Leon in his voice?
For the most part, he's pretty reserved. He likes to talk. He talks to himself a lot of the time. A lot of that kind of like, you know, I'm talking so you can hear, but really it's just muttering how frustrated I am.
My daughter, she's all alone. If we don't do something...
All right, I get it. But if you don't keep it down, you won't live to save her. You understand?
He's got that little bit of a swagger to him, that little bit of quippy, you know, break the tension with a joke, throwaway line type.
Which are great in video games, especially in a horror game.
Yeah. It's very much that kind of Spider-Man-esque, like, you know, nervous talking when things are tension type circumstance.
Yeah.
So, Leon's definitely comes from that as well, but also he's got that typical little bit of hero gravel, especially in 6, where he's a lot older and a little more world-worn. If that makes any sense.
He's seen some zombies in his day.
Yeah, it's been a rough few years for Mr. Kennedy.
Now, you played through all the Resident Evil games. Which is your favorite to play? That's a tough one, right?
That's a real tough one. I'm gonna have to say either between 2 and 4. I mean, Leon aside, like, those are just 2 of my favorite games. 4 really revolutionized the franchise in a lot of great ways, and you had the world's best merchant ever.
What you buying?
What are you buying?
What you selling?
Got something that might interest you.
Now, this is not your first rodeo when it comes to voiceover acting. Like, you have a lot of impressive titles. Like, what have you done before that we might recognize?
Video games wise, I've done the voice of Curtis Stryker in the new Mortal Kombat 9 that came out last year.
Which I enjoyed that part of the game.
Trying to bring what was previously such a lame character in the Mortal Kombat franchise, give him some gravitas was a nice challenge.
I think I'll be keeping my soul.
The voice of Fei Long in Super Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 4. A bunch of things like that. You can, for life of me, I can't remember most of them.
You kind of have an amazing TV show voice cartoon from the 80s now today.
Yes, on Cartoon Network. The voice of Tigra in the new Thundercats reboot.
With Resident Evil 6 now out and just wonderful in front of all of us, zombies are back, and that's great. Yeah. My question is to you, Matt Mercer, with all of your experience that you've received from voicing over this game, would you survive a zombie apocalypse? And
Me?
how?
No, not at all. I'm far too trusting. I would be gone in the first couple days. And I freely admit that. Like, I have many friends who I know will survive to the bitter end. My girlfriend alone, like, she's gonna be one of those last gritty survivors that, you know, is armed to the teeth with weapons, like mud smeared in her face.
Killed a few people.
Oh yeah, no, and she'd be dragging around the remnants of my corpse, you know, as a weapon probably, you know, strap me to a board.
That's romantic.
Kind of, yeah, no,
in
I
the
can
end
think
of the world
so.
kind of way.
But no, I'd be the guy who's like, you know, no, come inside, there's plenty of room, we want to keep you all safe, and then knife to the back of the head.
Gruesome way to go.
Yeah, well, it's far more gruesome than a lot of the stuff that Leon undergoes in Resident Evil 6, so I'll take it.
Now, you've done a lot of video game voiceovers. How much video games do you play? Have you been gaming for a while? Is there an association?
I've been a gamer my whole life.
Nice.
I was one of those kids, you know, that nearby friends had the Atari 2600, and that started me then wanting to get a Nintendo, and then every system since, like still Super Nintendo is probably my favorite system out of all of them, just because the quality of the titles back then, the RPGs were fantastic.
Maybe, and also I think it was just like that, it was that impactful time for us, where it was like, this game just changed my entire life.
Yeah.
Like, it's great titles.
Totally. Like, I've been a gamer my whole life, so growing up a fan of cartoons and a fan of video games already, like largely so, being able to then move into a career doing voiceover for both has been a childhood dream come true.
Nice. That's good.
Plus, it's kind of fun to then be able to say that you're a part of these games that you're still waiting to come out. Like everyone's like all excited for games to come out. You're like, yes, me too, because I want to play it, but also I'm not in it.
Now, last question. With Final Fantasy VI, with Resident Evil 6, like you're Leon. Like, what's your favorite part of the game?
Without spoiling storyline, I don't know. My favorite part of the game right now, I think, would probably be, if you've seen the trailers, there's parts where the storyline crosses over between Leon and Chris.
Which is new to the franchise and awesome.
Yeah, and it comes to a full head confrontation, and just seeing these two iconic Resident Evil characters drawing guns on each other and basically getting to a point where who's going to shoot first or who's going to talk this down was a lot of fun to perform. And a lot of fun to actually see the final product too.
That's so cool.
That's my favorite part so far.
Now, did you get to work with the guy that was voicing as Chris during that scene, or?
No, unfortunately, a lot of games, especially games where we're doing the facial mocap, you have to work individually because you're in a room with 40 cameras and you have dots glued to your face.
That makes sense.
And so it's a little more of a technical challenge to do 2 people at a time, unless it's a huge mocap stage. So we didn't get a chance to, but Roger's awesome. Anyway, the guy who does the voice of Chris, who you also know is the voice of Ezio in the Assassin's Creed franchise.
The more you know, guys.
So.
Learning things here at Smosh Games. Now, you did the voice, so we got to hear some stuff here. What is your favorite death? Can we hear your voice?
I think one of them was like being grabbed, choked, having something vomit into your mouth, and then have it like dissolve your insides.
That's amazing.
It's awful. So
Only in a Resident Evil game.
Exactly. So that was more of like a.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's voice acting at its finest right there. That was absolutely. I was actually like the whole time like, don't throw up on camera. Don't throw up on camera. This is gross. This is gross. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been Matthew Mercer here on Smosh Games talking about his new game, Resident Evil 6, where he plays Leon Kennedy. Dude, again, just congratulations on that. That's such a cool thing. I'm geeking out the entire time. Like, Leon Kennedy. Guys, I hope you like this interview that we have here. Please leave your comments below. Heading towards to Matt Mercer here. Maybe he'll read them, maybe he'll respond. But guys, till the next time, this is Smosh Games, and I'm the Jovenshire.
Take care.